This is the Katie Weaver Show, and we are live. I want to let you know that I do have the live stream going on over in the chat room, so you can watch this as a live stream rather than listen to it if you choose to, just by heading over to 12 Radio on Facebook and search for our little Facebook group here. It is, of course, a private group, so you need to ask for entry in order to come in, but Christy will gladly let you into the group. So that's all the nuts and bolts, I think. Exciting news, and I'm going to say it right now so that I don't forget, is that I actually get to do radio twice today. So I'll be back at noon Pacific with Scott. Scott and I both are coming to be guests of Kai Greenway. We get to be on her show this week to talk about International Drumming Month, which is really exciting because you guys know how much I love drumming, and Kai does too, and so we're excited. I'm going to bring drums, we're going to play drums, we are going to experience some different things. Kai has a lot of wonderful things planned, and Scott's coming to talk about making drums, because that is wherein his gift lies, is the making of the drum. So very excited to be a part of her show. So thank you, Kai. And that, of course, is at noon Pacific here on 12 Radio. So that'll be coming right up. Okay, so much going on. I'm seeing some of you guys in the chat room. I want to let you know that I have left a lot of time today for readings. I feel like I haven't done a reading show in a little while, and I wanted to make sure that we did some good work today. So if you need some energy work, some animal communication, a psychic reading, come over here. Jump in the chat room, let me know. Don't put your reading request, if you can, in the Facebook live stream, because it just goes away so fast that it's really tough for me to see it. You're better off to put it under my banner right here in the chat room, and that doesn't go away so fast on me, so I can take a better look at it. Okay, well, I'm hoping you guys are having a good week. You know, last week, the god of Skype or the radio or somebody would not let me go live. I had a ton of tech trouble right before the show. We just had no choice but to just fail the show, which is something I don't ever do. So that sucked. And I have to tell you how off kilter I feel when I don't do my show, especially when I have one planned. It just feels so wrong. There's a piece missing, obviously. But luckily we're here today, so it's just what it was, I guess. But it's good to be here. Over the weekend, we celebrated my youngest kid's 16th birthday. Wow, time flies so fast, doesn't it? I mean, we say it all the time, but it just couldn't be more true. And so here we go. The baby's 16. We did the thing that I swore to God we weren't going to do, and we bought her a car for her birthday. I don't ever want to buy them cars for their birthday, because where do you go from there, you know? And that's something I have to just reconcile within myself, because honestly, you don't have to match that. You don't have to one-up that. It would be insane to try. And I can't imagine any of my kids actually expecting that. But for some reason, within me, I have a weirdness about it. But at any rate, we had found a fabulous deal on a little Scion XB. Really, really awesome little car. Just has a blown head gasket, which is perfect because she's lucky that her daddy's a mechanic. So by the time she actually gets her license at the end of December, her car will be running and ready for her. So it's pretty exciting. Also, definitely gave me some great ideas on what to give her for Christmas because that car needs some things. So that's kind of fun too. But that's pretty much what's new in my world. Lots of hard work going on around here. Working on some big writing projects, working on some big crafting projects. Feeling super, super creative and driven right now. I've gotten more done in the last few days than I a lot of times get done in a week, just because I'm feeling really drawn to it. So I hope that you guys are sitting in that same creative energy. It feels dang good. And what can we do? You know, that's, for me at least, creative energy comes and goes. So I'm just thrilled that it's here today, and I'll make the very best of it, because I don't always get it. And you know, that's something that I want to work on in myself. And yet, you know, it's a funny thing. It just doesn't always it doesn't always last for me. So what can I do? I am in a space of just rolling with it and creating my little head off because it's here. So that's exciting. I want to share something with you. I want to share with you the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish for Wednesday. Some of you have subscribed for my daily readings. Some of you have already received it. It comes out about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you live. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, depending on where you live. But I thought it might be fun to just share today's reading. So the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish reading today is, sometimes it's easy to expect the other shoe to fall. When life is good and you are in a great flow, your ego may whisper in your ear from time to time with doubts and fear. Have faith today that you can always land on your feet. Have faith that good times are allowed to stay. And most of all, have faith that life loves you and there is always something good coming around the bend. And that is the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish reading for today. If you want to subscribe and receive the daily reading, I put a link in the chat room. All you have to do is click on that and you'll be, you can sign up for it easy enough, and I'll send you a quick little reading every morning. So loving those, by the way. I had a lot of great feedback from them and it's fun. It's really fun to get to send them out daily. So pretty good stuff. Well, I would love to jump in and take a look at the magazine. So if you would like to see it, you can head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Katie's Magazine button. And that'll take you right to the cover. Just click on it and that'll open it. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room as well. Lots of good stuff in the magazine this week. Lots of things I want to draw your attention to. All right, you may have noticed our absolutely gorgeous cover. So I wanted to use, for the cover for November, I wanted an image of the goddess Abundantia. She's the goddess of abundance. She's the goddess that typically has the cornucopia, has the riches, you know, that's her job. She's a Roman goddess. And I looked and I looked and I looked for an image that I could purchase, or that was royalty free, or, you know, because when you publish, you have to be really careful. You can't just use whatever, right? You have to be really careful and make sure that you have the right to use it. And I just was coming up with nothing. And I mentioned to Scott that I was really struggling with the cover because that's what my vision was, but I was finding nothing. And he pointed out that our dear friend Velvedon Silver, of course, who has her show here on Mondays, that she has a deck that has this card in it. It has Abundantia. And so I messaged her and I asked her if there was any chance she would allow us to enjoy that card as our cover this month. And she very graciously did. And I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. So it comes from her deck called Awakening of the Divine Oracle. So there's a link right here in the magazine for it, but I wanted to make sure that you guys see it. It was so sweet of her to let us use her image, but also looks like an absolutely awesome deck. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. So just threw a link up in the chat room for you. And so thank you, Velvedon, with all my heart. Absolutely love it. This magazine, the magazine this week is called Positively Positive, because there is a good vibe rolling this week that is supporting optimism, a little better attitudes than we've had. We're going to take it and we're going to run with it. By God. The memoir this week, my memoir, really, really close personal one for me about my experience just recently with having my first mammogram and really struggling emotionally through that. And I don't think I'm going to recap the whole thing for you. I'll let you guys read it whenever you choose. But I do want you to know that I did actually get a letter yesterday from the mammo place that said, all clear, see you in a year. So it's all good. There's no fear. There was a lot of fear, but everything's okay. But memoirs are as I'm discovering, sometimes some of the most painful things that have ever happened to us. And I try to temper that with some of the funner things that have happened in my life, because as you guys know, I actually have a pretty magical and funny existence most of the time, but every once in a while, freaking life catches up with me. So that's all I'll say about that. You guys can read it if you want to. All right, my November reading special is a 30-minute time-based session. This is one of my favorite readings. I like the 15-minute readings, but if we really want to do some deep work, the 30-minute one is probably the way to go. It's one that we can go deeper. It's one that we can do more. So if you are needing some work, if you're needing some anything really, or a combination of things, that's what I like about a 30-minute TBS, is that it gives us plenty of time to do some clearing work, to do some reading, to do some animal communication, to peek into some past life things. I mean, it gives us really the time so that we're not, on the dead run, so that we can get a few things accomplished. So anyway, I put the link in the chat room, but you can find that over at onetolisten.com under me, Katie Weaver, in my time-based sessions as well. So easy enough. Okay. Christy brings us crystal guidance. The crystal this week is celestite. Celestite supports communication with the divine. Use this stone to seek out messages from your guides and angels. Celestite is this blue, gemmy, glassy, absolutely gorgeous stone. If you don't have a piece of celestite, it's just one that feels heavenly. Love it. And then the card that she pulled for us this week from her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck is the Fairy. Fun, lighthearted, inspiration, stress relief, and friends. That is her primary message. The challenge, if you just don't have enough fairy in your life, could be feeling shallow, superficial, irresponsible, full of mischief. The crystal is celestite, and the meditation: Dear Fairy, please guide me to have fun, feel inspired, and release stress while staying grounded and connected to who I am. Lighthearted card, and that was a part of that positively positive message this week for the magazine, because we are lighter this week. We are a little more hopeful, and hopefully we're having a little more fun. Kai's article this week, Kai writes Kai's Kaleidoscope. Her article was fascinating, talking about your thoughts, your thought processes. She called it mind loops, talking about what kind of hormones are churned up in your body through negative self-talk and the things that they do to you, the effects that it has on you, and talking specifically about cortisol. And I really loved what she had to say. I think it's really important for all of us to consider it and consider things that we can do to help cut cortisol. So thank you, Kai, as always, for your research and the thoughtful way that you bring information to us that is always very useful. The tip of the week is rosemary, because I bought the cutest pot of rosemary over the weekend at a hardware store, actually, that is pruned in the shape of a little Christmas tree. And it's so cute. I had to have it. Rosemary is something that Scott always has rosemary growing in the house and growing outside, and always cooking with it, and he loves rosemary. So I knew he had to have that little rosemary Christmas tree, and I thought I might put a tiny light set on it and a few little tiny balls, and you have to keep it well hydrated if you're going to do that, but the little LED light sets don't generate any heat. But anyway, kind of excited, cute, but here's why. Grow a pot of rosemary in your home to help sharpen learning skills, improve memory and concentration, and enhance focus. Both eating rosemary and smelling it is beneficial to your brain. I probably should send it home after Christmas with my college kid, huh? Rosemary is amazing for your brain. Rosemary essential oil is too. If you're ever working on memorizing something, learning something new, just getting your head wrapped around something, I think it's great for writers to grow rosemary, diffuse rosemary, eat rosemary, but have rosemary in your home. It's a great indoor to have. All right, a little ad for my candle magic kit. I've sold quite a few of those. It's just a fun little set to work on abundance for the year. Who couldn't amp up their abundance this time of year, I'm afraid. Okay. Brittany's article is called Kenny, talking about being childlike, keeping that childlike wonder, and being able to continue to celebrate that in children, but in ourselves as well. We've all been in too big of a hurry to grow up, I think. I hope for Christmas everybody gets at least one toy, right? Of some sort. A puzzle, an adult coloring book, something, right? A craft project, something that's just to play with. All right. Dr. Elise's article this week is about the caterpillar becoming a butterfly as it goes through that liquid stage. Always a good message about allowing yourself to be in that stage of goo and not freak out about it, but let yourself move through it. The Magic Monday message from Melissa: I create vivid images and put them down on paper. Her art skills are unmatched, man. She is so good. Thank you for that, Melissa. And then, of course, our reading from Anita. Anita brings us our Anita and the Masters. This week she brought Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha, of course, is a Hindu elephant god or deity depicted with the head of an elephant, as you've all seen pictures of him or effigies of him in some way or another. He loves to help humanity. That's his job. So he's a great one to call on when you feel like you could use a little extra help. So there you go. All right. Well, that is the magazine this week. So if I can help you with anything, let me know. And also, I hope that you have a chance to read it and enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to put out the weekly magazine. It's fun for me because I get all of the articles sent to me, and it's like Christmas morning, as they all start rolling in. So I think it's a lot of fun. So here's a loaded question. Have you guys started your Christmas shopping? Or do you do Christmas shopping? Or do you celebrate Yule or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever you choose? I have been really on top of Christmas this year. I'm way more than halfway done. I'm really excited about that. I saw this really cool idea for wrapping a gift if you were giving multiple gifts, like to kids, to put 3 boxes together and wrap them in white paper. Or I was thinking like white and red polka dot, white and red stripes, stuff like that, and do them up like a snowman. And so I thought that was so fun that I'm doing that. So I can't help but spoil the kids in our family like crazy. It tends to be my MO. So I have enough stuff for all of them that I can easily do that. So I'm excited. So I'm actually going to put their gifts together in little towers of boxes that look like little snowmen. So I'll let you know how that works out. Hopefully I have time to do that. I think I will, because I'm rolling, you guys. However, seriously concerned about how I will ever put up a Christmas tree this year because of 2 little piggies that live here. They are literally like having 2 toddlers in the house. They get into everything. I just don't know that we can have a Christmas tree. I think if we do, we'll have to go artificial, because I'm afraid if we go with a real tree, they won't leave it alone. But then maybe they will. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's going to be a trial and error with them, I think. I thought we were through the stages of having anybody be naughty to the tree, but apparently not, because, these 2 came to live here. So I don't know what to think about a tree. But, piggies only live for like 20 years, so I probably better get a plan in place, because that means I'm never having a tree again. Oh boy. Want to do remind you guys that I am going to do readings today from the chat room, so if I can help you with anything, please let me know. I would love to connect with you today and do a little work on your behalf. So one thing, let's do our reading. Let's do our weekly reading. And then I wanted to do some sound therapy today. We haven't done a singing bowl in a little while, and I think some of you guys could just use it. You know, we came through the election with like just freaking trauma, you know? And there's still so much trauma. I mean, my God, I look at California and their plight every day, and I'm just sick every day. And it seems like it's, I mean, it's still happening. Their fires are still burning. They had that horrible shooting. California is so under duress. And then, of course, receiving a lack of support and compassion from places where they need it. But, you know, we can fill in those gaps because that's who we are, right? So don't neglect California right now. If you can help, you know, in physical ways, help. If you can give them some daily energy, some daily prayers, some daily drumming, some daily something, do that. But in some way, offer your bit of you to them. And let's see if we can help to shift the tide. Yeah, get their fires gone and get their communities back in order and help the people that have been the most affected. You know, my daughter said, I don't know why people get so upset about this stuff. They'll just rebuild. And I was like, oh, no. It's possible. It's possible that they'll rebuild. But people that are in deep poverty, they may very well not have anything to rebuild. Maybe they were renting and their landlord's not going to rebuild. You know, perhaps you don't have insurance or your insurance won't cover this. Perhaps what you did have in insurance will pay off your loan and do nothing else for you. I mean, there's a million things here that affect people, and devastating natural disasters absolutely devastate the most vulnerable amongst us the most. And they're the ones I feel like right now we have to keep our thoughts and our prayers and our bead on, and our, you know, financial and emotional support, everything we can do. And right now, of course, the first responders, because we still have so many firefighters putting their own lives on the line to try to get this all under control. So lots of places to go if you, you know, and then of course towards the animals as well. I noticed that Sandra Bullock just donated $100,000 to help take care of the animals, which is huge because we're talking about so many domestic animals, wildlife, farm animals. It's just staggering the amount of animals that need assistance right now. So there you go. So let's do the daily read, or the weekly reading. This is, of course, from my deck, my Ground Blessed Protected Move deck, and you can find more information about that over at katie-weaver.com. So it's a 5-card spread. Excuse me. Starting with the ground card, and the ground card is animals this week. Grounding with animals is really powerful. You know, they say that petting animals helps to lower blood pressure, helps to lower pulse, helps people to relax, helps to lessen anxiety. Why? Well, from an energetic standpoint, that's because it is grounding you. Deepening your connection to the earth, pulling your spirit back into your body. Really powerful to ground with animals. All you have to do is spend a little time loving, cuddling, petting. That does it. If you can't or don't have animals for some reason, go to somebody's house that does, you know, or go to a shelter, or go to a pet store. Find, you know, go on a walk and pet somebody's dog with permission. But find some way this week to connect your spirit to an animal spirit to help you to ground. All right. The bless card is food. Blessing your food is a really interesting one for me because I grew up in a religion that you didn't touch your food until someone said the blessing. I mean, that was like a cardinal sin, right? You don't do that. You better not do that. And so the idea of blessing food almost is punitive to me, or was once upon a time. But I really came to understand how blessing your food is a really powerful way, not just to show gratitude, but also to clear it of anything, any energy that you don't want there. think about the path your food takes. I mean, let's think about a carrot. Somebody works the ground. Somebody plants the seed. Somebody waters the carrot until it becomes a full-grown carrot. Someone picks the carrot. Someone cleans the carrot. Someone trims the carrot. Someone packages the carrot. Someone ships the carrot. Someone displays the carrot. Someone purchases the carrot. Someone brings it home. That's an awful lot of hands that your food passes through, unless you're growing it yourself or buying it at a farmer's market, which would lessen that. But that's just one carrot. And that's a small piece of lots of other kinds of processed foods or animal products. Point being, lots of people come in contact with your food. If you are eating at a restaurant and someone else is fully preparing your food, for all of these reasons, your food should just be cleared and blessed. So just like in the card, in the picture, put your hands around your food. Allow a pillar of white light from the universe, that's that unconditional love, power of the universe, to pour over your head, through your body and out your hands, and continue to let that white light run through you until you feel like that food is blessed. You might be holding certain intentions. You know, maybe you're sending blessings and gratitude to all of those that came in contact with creating this food for you. Perhaps you are clearing any energies there that aren't in your highest and best good. Maybe you're doing all of those things. When I was a kid, the prayer was always to please bless this food to nourish and strengthen our bodies. That's indelibly in my heart and soul, apparently. But maybe you say something like that. You know, perhaps this is about your food, acting as medicine and taking good care of you. You decide, but bless your food. It doesn't have to be a big ceremony. It doesn't have to be a giant deal. And it certainly doesn't have to be punitive. But bless your food. It's good for you. Okay, the protect card is burn sage. And sage isn't always seen so much as a protector, though it can be, but sage in itself it is protective. It helps to clear away energies that maybe are in your home, your office, your car, yourself, that are lower vibrating than who you are right now, lower frequency than what you bought. And if that's the case, burn sage. Do a little clearing, or a big one. When was the last time you cleared your house? If you cannot burn sage, some people are allergic, some people live in places where you're not allowed to burn things. You can make a strong tea out of sage leaves and hot water, and once it cools, put it in a spray bottle and spray it with a very similar effect. You can burn incense called dragon's blood that does a great job clearing. You can do the same thing with basil. And some people that can't handle sage do better clearing with basil. So don't not clear because sage isn't your jam. Find the thing that is. Don't not clear. That's not proper. Everyone knows it. The move card is Tai Chi. Tai Chi is such a great movement. Christy and I, several summers ago, actually went through level 1 teacher's training for Tai Chi. And I love Tai Chi. I do Tai Chi usually in the pool. Scott and I go to a local pool a few nights a week. This is a good place for this arthritic lady to move herself. And I do a lot of Tai Chi in the pool. But if you don't know any Tai Chi, even just a few basic moves to help to raise your frequency, I highly recommend that you learn a few. I mean, all you'd have to do, really, is go to YouTube and look up some basic Tai Chi or Tai Chi for energy movement, things like that, and you'd find a few things. But Tai Chi is really gentle. A lot of people, you know, some people do Tai Chi seated if it's too much on their bodies to stand. But Tai Chi is a really, really good way to move energy in and out of your body. So seriously consider it. And this makes me laugh. Our boost card is music, and I think it was last time we had a reading too. So That must be a big theme right now. Maybe it is. Are you guys already rocking to Christmas music? You might be. No judgment. I'm not, but I probably wouldn't scream if somebody put it on. Music. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now because I was thinking about it yesterday. Christmas is such a weird holiday for a lot of us because we don't really subscribe to the idea of the Christ child's birth, maybe, or we don't really, even consider ourselves to be Christian, or, for lots of reasons. Christmas, or maybe Christmas just brings up a whole slew of bad memories, or it just really makes you feel alone and crappy. There's a lot of things about Christmas that are triggers for people that aren't happy. And I have continued, even though I walked away from the idea of Christianity or organized religion a long time ago, continued to really kind of roll with Christmas. And I've gone back and forth. Some years I'm like, why the hell are we doing this? And then other years I get really into the Christmas spirit. And I was thinking about it yesterday because this is always something that's kind of weird to reconcile in myself. I have this pep talk with me every year. And I realized that, here's what it is for me. Christmas for me has nothing to do with religion. It has probably nothing to do with the Christ child. What Christmas does for me, and the reason I'm having this conversation with you guys, by the way, is because I know a lot of you struggle with the same ideas and just wonder, it's such a cultural thing here in the US that we do Christmas. You do Christmas, regardless of who you are. And maybe you don't, but you may do another kind of ceremony of some sort, or holiday of some sort, but it's just so ingrained in who we are. And Christmas to me, the spirit of Christmas to me is generosity, it's giving, it's celebrating our relationships, it is kindness, it is helping others, it is being kind to strangers, it's helping people out that are in times of need. That's what Christmas is to me. It's the spirit of Christmas, it's the spirit of giving, it's the spirit of goodness. And that resonates with my soul. And that is why every year I go ahead and give myself permission to get out a Christmas tree, to listen to Christmas carols, to watch all of those ridiculously cheesy movies on Hallmark Channel without any kind of apology. But that's what it is for me. And I've come to be okay with that. Not have to every year wonder if I'm really doing the right thing or why I'm doing this thing. Maybe that helps you, maybe it doesn't, but that's how I feel. If Christmas is all about the Christ child's birth for you, I in no way mean to offend you. In no way. I am absolutely clear that we all have a wide open, clear birth for our own thoughts, opinions, spirituality. I have no judgment on that. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't work for me. It doesn't mean that I hold any judgment towards what other people believe. I don't. And I think if you have faith in that version of our humanity and it helps you and it guides you along the path and it gives you the inspiration that you're looking for, more power to you. I want to make that really clear. There is no need for division around here. None. Okay, so music. Remember that? Back to that card. Okay, the music card basically is a reminder to use music to move your frequency, which is fun. It kind of takes me back to what we're doing on Kai's show today with drumming. So the idea that frequency, the idea that music can move you very quickly from one state to another is really powerful. So know yourself, know what music makes you feel amazing, and use that as a tool to help you along your way. All right, that is the Ground Bless Protect and Move reading for the week. All right, I do see some reading requests coming up. I want to get to them. I want to do one more thing before we do. Besides drink coffee, but I have to do a lot of that too. I want to do a little singing bowl work. Just going to use a crystal bowl, I don't know what this bowl is, 10-inch bowl. I just want to play the bowl. While I do so, I would like you guys to just sit with it I don't have any particular goal today. A lot of times I talk you through something specific. I'm not going to do that today. Today I just wanted to sit with the bowl, sit with the frequency of it, and allow it to move through you in any way that you need. So take a few deep breaths, close your eyes if you can, relax with me, and just allow the vibration to move through you. I'd be interested to see in the chat, if you feel so inclined, to tell me where it moved through you. Where did you feel it? But don't be so focused on trying to feel where it moves through you that you don't just let it move through you. Did that make sense? Maybe. Clear as mud? Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay. That's still moving in me, in my heart chakra. It started in my crown, and then I felt something in my heart chakra really shift. I felt like it was some anxiety and some heaviness that had been sitting there, and it's still shifting and moving. So wowza, that one shook me. So I hope that it shook you in a really good way. You know, what a strong belief I have in vibrational therapy in lots of ways. Okay. Terry said she misses seeing me in my witch's hat. Yeah, we had fun with those, didn't we? Okay, let's see. Jump into the chat. Okay, you know, Facebook, it's always tricky on me. I wanted to get, to Jennifer. She said she's starting a healing ministry and she's kind of freaked out. Jennifer, yeah. All right, I'm going to say the rudest thing ever because it's what I'm hearing, and they're saying it's about time. Please don't hold that against me. They said it's about time. They said you have helped with so many other people's ministries. You have been a key part of encouraging other people, and it's high time that you did that yourself. So I know that you're answering the call of spirit and that you're doing what you feel like is right, and I'm so proud of you. Kind of freaked out, hopefully in a really good way. Go slow. Resist the urge to do too much for other people. Do enough, but leave a little at the end of the day for yourself. Make sure that you are clear with the people that you are working with what financial support you need. One thing I'm hearing is you're going to have to be clear about that, and that there are people that want to help support you financially, but you're going to have to make sure that you're wide open about that, so that you can continue that work, you know, in a really powerful way. So be freaked out if you must, but also please get excited because this is huge news. Really, really excited. I can't wait to hear where this takes you. And way to go. What else can I say about that? This is good news, really good news. You're going to help so many people that need you. I feel like you're going to end up doing a fair amount of work with either hospice patients or people who are going through cancer or, you know, another like life-shaking kind of illness or disease, that you're going to find yourself doing more of that than you realized, and it will be an extremely satisfying experience, and that you're bringing a lot of help. So it's awesome. Okay, Lynn needs a body scan and a clearing. All right, Lynn, let's take a look. Some masculine energy, Lynn, that is not friendly per se. It's not like an attachment, like it's not like a dark thing, right? But I feel like there's some masculine energy around you that is not a friend. So let's clear that. I feel it. I felt it actually. I was laughing because I felt it around your ankles, and I thought, ooh, somebody kind of wants to drag her down. But you also have a cord above your left hip that doesn't belong there. So I'm going to clear all of those things. I think this strong, powerful feminine energy has offended somebody. Maybe without meaning to. Doesn't matter. It's okay, but I don't want them to hold on to you like that, so we're going to clear it. So I cleared those ankles first. Now I'm just going in on that hip. Right above your left hip, kind of small back area, like really low. And I wonder if you've been stiff and sore there, because that really gets me when I feel you. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't belong, and it's not allowed to stay. Okay, that's better. Much, much better. All right, you keep using your voice, okay? Don't let anybody shut you down. Do not give in to any kind of shame, you know, or someone who tries to force that on you. We're not going there, right? Lynn, you're doing a good job. Hang in there. Okay. All right, Terry said if you have time for a reading with whatever comes through. Okay, Terry's a little Leo. All right, let's take a peek. Okay, what's coming up for me, Terry, I believe is around the holidays for you. First, I saw a set table, like with the fine china, you know, or the fancy dishes and candles. I wondered if that was a Thanksgiving table. But then I saw an image of a little boy with Santa, and this looks like an old image, not a current one. And I felt like what's coming up here is some memories around holidays, some bittersweet memories around holidays. And that I wonder if this would be a good year for you to reconcile some of your own energy, especially around like who spends holidays where. I feel like you've had drama in your life around those things, but also just around kind of recalling some of your happiest memories and doing some things that unapologetically pull those together for you. So I'm going to recommend that you actually do some journaling or some writing of memoirs around holiday experiences for you, and that you have a little louder voice in insisting on doing things that you would like to do for the holidays this year. So I think that you have felt like you were not always, someone's priority, or, that what you wanted was never a priority, and that's got to change. Okay, Lisa wants to know if I see a new job in her near future. I actually do. I feel like, Lisa, you've just got to find the right firm. Somebody by the end of December is really going to be ramping up their office for the first part of the year, especially. It may start out as a temporary job that turns into a permanent job. But I do feel like there is something that is going to be a very hot market here really soon. So get your resume together, be prepared. I know that you need this change, and I feel like you're going to get it. Okay. Jan says, I could buy a smaller tree and set it up on a platform or table of some sort out of little piggies' curious, destructive noses. I've wondered about that too. That may be exactly what we have to do. Okay, Kevin needs a little sinus tune-up. All right, let's do it. Ooh, Kevin, I feel that inflammation through your sinuses, especially like right up through my forehead, above my eyes, and down the back of my neck. So make sure that you are taking good care of the back of your neck and head and addressing any inflammation that you got back there. And I am going to do an ethereal clearing. So I'm going to call out the ethereal energy of rubies. I know I've done this for you lots of times, and it helps a lot when your sinuses are weird. So we're going to send, and silver for the inflammation. Cool. All right. So we're sending ribbons of silver all the way through your sinuses. Looks like they want to start at the back of your head. So we'll start there. So first, ribbons of silver. That is so cold. That's giving me chills down my back because it feels so cold. All the way through, really cooling a lot of heat and inflammation across your forehead. Man. All right, so we'll let that run through you 3 times. Have you guys ever had a CAT scan of your sinuses? It is so wild. There's so much of them. The way they branch out in your head and face is crazy. Okay, one more. All right, and now calling out the ethereal energy of rubies. I didn't even want to combine those. I wanted to do them separately. So I'm going to send those tiny rubies all the way through and line your sinuses to combat any infection and to just help to keep them open. I'll get those in place. Oh, good. Good. That should feel some better. But yeah, think about that inflammation in the back of your neck. You might need to get an adjustment or work on that. Okay. Pamela said, I've never used basil for clearing. Do you dry it out and bundle it, or do they sell it in a bundle ready to burn? They don't. That is, basil is considered to be a purification herb in South America, the way Native Americans use sage as a sacred purification herb in North America. It's a Mayan thing, actually. So I do dry it out. You can burn it just in a little dish. You can get the little charcoal discs and light them and sprinkle some on it. That works really good too. Or you can make it into a strong tea. All right, Jessica. It's her birthday on the 17th. Would love some guidance and messages to send me on my way into the new year. Okay, the first thing I heard, Jessica, is breath of fresh air. What they're telling me is that the challenges that you've had the last 4 months have been kind of a jog for you, kind of a shot in the arm to get serious about making some changes in your life. I feel like by the time June rolls around, we're going to be seeing you having acquired a different job and planning a move. I think it's all coming together through the summer months, though I feel like the ball will start rolling on that quite a bit sooner. So we'll see on that. But I do feel like, and that of course is contingent on you deciding to, if you look for a job. I know that you've been thinking about that way, and that's what I'm really seeing is that comes together for you this year. And so, you can't win the lottery if you don't play. So get that resume tuned up if this is still resonating with you. Get that resume tuned up and start thinking about where you would want to live and start looking and start putting some resumes out there, because I do see that change coming for you. I feel like it's something that you've been waiting for a long time, that's going to really enhance and enrich your life. So Jessica, it's a good birthday year for you. So here's the birthday pep talk, okay? You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live in a place that makes you feel supported. You deserve to have a job that helps you feel like you're making a difference, and that helps you to feel like you are accomplishing something. You deserve to have a job that makes you happy and doesn't bring a tremendous amount of stress onto you. But most of all, Jessica, you deserve to be happy. And this is the time for you to evaluate the things that aren't making you happy. I want you to seriously evaluate the things in your life that have really been gaslighting you, that maybe you didn't realize were at the time. The people that have contributed to you feeling poorly about yourself, the conversations that have contributed to making you feel bad, the things that have made you stand in one place for a long time. That isn't your fault. That is dysfunction around you. But now is your chance to see it for what it is, throw it in the garbage can, and move forward with a new energy. That's what this year is about for you. So I can't wait to see what happens. You know I will support you every step of the way. You're in for some big doings, and it's good. It's really exciting. Okay, let's see. Oh, Jennifer said she also felt it in her heart. So did Terry. Interestingly, because it is actually the note of this bowl resonates with the it's an E, which resonates with the solar plexus. But that's why I didn't say that, because I felt like it was going to move through us in different ways. So very interesting. Julie said singing bowl started in her throat, then went to the heart, solar plexus, and back to the heart and stayed. Deb said, thank you for the singing bowl vibrations. I felt it as a tightness in my throat and wanted to cry. Life has felt so heavy for so long. Yeah. And Deb, hopefully that frequency helped to shift you a little bit, or a lot bit, right? Renee said it started in her crown as well. Isn't it interesting? I did this with a kids group one time. I played the notes that, supposedly correspond with every chakra. And I had them lay on the floor, and I lowered the lights so that they weren't looking at each other, with eyes closed. Just asked them to point to the chakra that they were resonating with. And some kids were pretty much on target, but a lot of kids weren't. Or they would kind of start here, and then they'd be like, maybe it's a couple of places. Maybe it's my crown. Maybe it's my heart. It's moving around. But I think it's just always an interesting experience to just let it flow where it needs to be. That's a great way for you to key into, what do you need? What do you need right now? Yep. Very good. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for all of your sweet notes. I do really appreciate that. Oh, Terry, she said, been missing my daughter who has two granddaughters that she hasn't come home in 3 years, and putting some energy to that cause that all my grandkids are missing each other. I have 2 close to me and 2 8 hours away from me. Yeah. Yes, we need to get this family together for sure, Terry. All right, you guys, we've definitely done what we do. We've talked to the end of the show. I want to remind you that I'll be back. So right now we're going to turn the mic over to Elizabeth Lindsay for Angel with an Edge. Following that, you'll be hearing from me again for The Long Road with Kai Greenway. Scott and I will be back to bring some drumming to that show. So I'm very excited to come and join Kai. So thank you all so much for being here. I'll also see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific with the Psychic Sisters. And I'll be over at 1-2 Listen for the rest of the day and evening. You are listening to 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.